So today, here I am on board the North Shore Scenic Railroad, where we're going to perform the Hamilton Homicide. And I'm dressed up as Aaron Burr, who's in the Hamilton Homicide. Okay, so Aaron Burr is a really cool character because I make him angry all the time. He's sort of like that in Hamilton. And it makes me think that that might be one of the unifying factors in the readings today. Because if you think about it, even though they're very different sorts of readings, there's something in common. Saul gets really angry when his plans to kill David don't work. And he blames his own son Jonathan and calls him the son of an unfaithful woman, which is probably a euphemistic way of translating that. And then in Psalm 78, we read all the litany of everything the Jews have been doing wrong throughout their history. And then in Isaiah, God speaks to the Jews, his own people, in a sense, the way that Saul speaks to Jonathan, and accuses them of everything they've been doing, including killing their own children as sacrifices to their false gods. And then we have the author of Hebrews, who talks about Cain and Abel. And he says that Abel offered a better sacrifice than Cain, or one more acceptable to God, because of Abel's faith. And that even though Abel is dead, having been murdered by Cain, his faith still speaks. By the way, I hope you're appreciating this brilliant insight from me in this ridiculous costume. Now, in Genesis, we are told that Abel's blood cries to God from the ground. So the author of the letter to the Hebrews is playing on that phrase. It's not Abel's blood that speaks in Hebrews, his murdered blood, his spilled blood, murdered by his own brother. It's his faith that speaks from beyond the grave. But what's the difference between the faith of Abel and Cain? Because Cain, you could maybe lump into the same category as Saul in the reading from 1 Samuel, or the people of Israel from the Psalm and from Isaiah. And what is it that works against that, which the author of Hebrews calls faith, which somehow outlasts life itself? So that in the gospel, we have Jesus bringing a dead person back to life. So my question for you, dear students, think about this, and don't give me a superficial answer. Well, it's just faith.
If you have faith, you'd be fine. Then God won't be mad at you if you have faith.
That's not the point. The point is, I feel some sympathy for Saul, because, like this character, this is Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr's always angry, and he's always jealous of Hamilton. He's jealous and he's angry. Well, we can understand that. We can understand how Saul feels, especially if you guys have brothers and sisters and you have sibling rivalry. But what's the opposite of that? What's the secret of Abel? What is this faith? Don't just tell me it's faith, because that doesn't mean anything unless we have some sense of what faith is or how it operates. Somehow it outlasts life and speaks even from beyond the grave and is connected with Jesus, who raises people from the dead. So that's your question. What's this distinction between the jealousy and anger of Saul and the manipulative behavior of the Jews, who are willing even to sacrifice their own children in spite of the fact that God has saved them again and again? What's the difference between that negativity and this thing that Hebrews calls faith?